Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch, a two-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock.
It is Guayavera week on the Pitch Clock.
Hi, everybody.
There's Chris. I'm Jeremy. Taylor's here wearing his Knicks hat. Ethan's over there. He's not on camera. That's fine. It's time for another episode as we hit July. Adnan Virk will be with us soon as our 2025 MLB expert. But Taylor, we have a new trivia game today. We have pieces of paper in front of us with every MLB logo.
He's like, he gave us the teams.
I'm just really grateful that this, I think, means it's not ball knower trivia. Tell us what we're going to be doing today.
Yeah, I like trying to connect the trivia with things that are happening in baseball. Aaron Judge on pace to break the Yankees single-season record for intentional walks by the All-Star break. So we're sticking with the intentional walks. The game today is 3 strikes and you're out. We have the top 20 players with the most intentional walks from 2000 to 2009. You guys are going to alternate trying to guess the players 2 to 20 because like a free space in bingo, Barry Bonds, number 1, 390 intentional walks. And I don't want any side to have that kind of upper hand. Jeremy, you'll start. I feel like Chris has been going first a lot lately.
Wow, thank you.
All right. All right, my first guess, I'm just trying to get on the board. 2000 to 2009, Alex Rodriguez.
19th.
Whew. All right, I got on the board.
A-Rod is 19th with 82 intentional walks.
Albert Pujols.
That's a good one.
Albert Pujols is number 3 with 198 intentional walks.
There's a guy I'm thinking of that I think could be on this board based off what he did in the early 2000s. You know what? I'm gonna take the risk on it. I'm gonna go Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa is on the list.
Wow.
16th.
Ugh. We're already here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Jim Thome.
Jim Thome, 10th on the list.
Why'd you make a face there?
No, it's a name I hadn't even considered.
I felt strong about that one.
There's some
112 intentional walks.
Okay. I'm gonna go Rafael Palmeiro.
That's gonna be the first strike.
Oh, wow. Okay. Damn.
Frank Thomas.
That is also gonna be a strike.
What? Oh, your body language and you're nodding. You're like nodding along. Like I'm thinking, that's an easy one.
Our 2025 Major League Baseball expert is here, and he's the first and likely only person to join this year's 5-Timers Club on the Pitch Clock. Adnan Virk back for a 5th time this season before we even get to the All-Star break. We'll see if we can get to 10, Adnan, but this is pretty impressive.
That's the goal, Jeremy. Can I be a member of the 10-Timers Club? And listen, I'm an avid listener, not only of the Pitch Clock, but also the Dan Le Batard Show. And I just want to let you know, as a baseball insider that I am, historian that I am, I can confirm for Dan Le Batard that Dave Parker used to have a big black bat.
All right. Well, Dan will be very happy to learn that if he listens to this, which, based off how he treats me on the show, I doubt he does. Let's dive right into this season, Adnan. It's been about a month since we've had you on the show, and so all of June just passed. I want to ask you, which team in Major League Baseball throughout the course of June changed your opinion on them the most, whether that's for better or for worse?
For worse, every single team in the AL Central, aside from your adopted team, the Detroit Tigers. Let's go with Royals specifically. I love Bobby Witt. He was second, obviously, in the MVP race a year ago, but he's not been Bobby Witt so far this season. Been pretty pedestrian numbers by his lofty standards. Maybe he makes the All-Star game just because he's Bobby Witt, but hasn't been the same player. Sal Perez is like a 620 OPS, been a real disappointment. Jack Caglianone's hitting 180 as a big leaguer. That's been a disaster. Ton of strikeouts. I know he's got a ton of promise, but it's been a while to see him get going. Pasquantino, again, too much swing and miss. Their pitching is good. I mean, Lugo's been tremendous as always, but Reagans has been hurt. Waka's been decent. Royals, to me, a real disappointment, buddy. My buddy Greg Amsinger at MLB Network had them going all the way to the World Series. That ain't going to be happening. Royals aren't going to the playoffs.
Not only did Greg, you did on this show. You said the Royals and the
Diamondbacks. Good memory by you.
I'm always going to remember that because we said the Pasquatch would be out here winning a World Series MVP. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's where we're headed. But you know where we are headed? The Marlins sit at the end of July in the exact same spot that my Gritty Tigers from last year in 2024 did, which is 8 games under 500 and 8 games back of the final wild card spot in their league.
Wow.
To you, is there any case to be made in your mind that the Miami Marlins could end up being this year's Detroit Tigers?
I mean, it's incredible work by you and very creative. And again, congratulations on winning your latest honor as a South Florida's greatest reporter.
Hey,
there's no doubt about that. But they're 37 and 45. I mean, I don't see them pulling off what the Tigers did. But again, I didn't see the Tigers doing what they did until it happened. So I mean, I was completely surprised they did it from August 11th on. They're unbeatable. They're hitting over 300, 360 on base, over 500 slugging percentage. They're averaging 7.5 runs per game during the 7-game win streak, collected 10 or more hits in all those games. Only twice in the franchise's 33-year history have the Marlins had a longer streak of double-digit hits. So they are banging right now. Your boy Otto Lopez hitting over 430 during a 10-game hit streak. Agustin Ramirez hits the ball hard. Love to see his exit velo. He hits over 500 his last 6 games. Of course, our boy Stowers was great when we talked to him, then slowed down, but now he's back again. So the Fishmen, I'm impressed how good their offense is, but I did not expect that'd be the strength of this team.
It's been startling to see, right? And in the last several years, when the Marlins have had any runs of being any good, it's been in large part because the starting pitching's been great and the bullpen's been great. And this season, that hasn't always been the case. Edward Cabrera's overachieved, but obviously outside of that, there's been pitching injuries. There's been Sandy Alcantara struggling throughout the season, although looking stronger and stronger by the day. Maybe he can give the Marlins a second-half schoolboy run. We will see. We will see what happens there, but it's been really fun to watch it thus far as we headed into July. Okay, Big Papi.
Big Papi is on the list. He's 17th with 87 intentional walks.
I had Big Papi, and I also have Manny Ramirez. I'll go Manny, even though it's weird to have 2 on the same team.
Manny Ramirez is an even better guess, number 4. Wow. 174 intentional walks in that decade.
Good Lord. You know what? I'll just go ahead with one of the ones that I was going to guess, and I'm worried that it's going to be wrong. Chipper Jones.
That's a great one.
Chipper Jones is on the list. He's 9th on the list.
Great.
127 intentional walks.
So I'm going to go with Miguel Cabrera.
That's one of mine that I have written down. But he's only started his career in 2003.
Yeah, and he was
plenty of time, right?
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera is on the list.
Okay.
15th on the list.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
90 intentional walks.
What I'm really
so good at the end of the day.
What I'm looking for is like guys who were like the only good hitter in their life. I know they had some good teams, but
he was tied with Sammy Sosa.
Okay.
How about? I'm worried this isn't going to work, but how about Ken Griffey Jr.?
Ken Griffey Jr. sneaks onto the list at 20.
That's crazy.
Man, I got 19 and 20.
That's crazy.
With 76.
These are like just a couple of foul tips with 2 strikes in the count. Like the fact that I'm staying alive there. Wow.
My turn?
Your turn.
Todd Helton.
That's one of mine.
Chris Cody continues his dominance here. Todd Helton, 5th on the list, 164 intentional walks.
I'm getting higher guys on the list.
Right.
That's why he says I'm dominating.
Yeah, sure.
You're squeaking into this list.
Average depth of list, you're doing better, but we both have 1 strike.
Yeah.
I believe Chris Cody's gotten 3, 4, and 5 so far.
I might get this wrong, but...
So 2 still on the board, huh?
2 is still on the board.
Wow, who could that be? Larry Walker.
No, too early.
He played in the
Larry Walker is not on the list. That's going to be the second strike.
Yeah, I knew it. Should have been thinking of.
Jason Giambi.
That is going to be another strike. 2 strikes apiece.
That's like I didn't even have that written down. It just popped in my head. I'm like, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I would have thought.
I'm pretty sure that was one of the first names off this list.
Adnan, the trade deadline is at the end of this month of July, and it looks like there are going to be a lot of teams in position to buy. So I will ask you this question. Who do you think will be the most aggressive buyer at the trade deadline? And as you look around the league, who's the name that you're looking at that you think may be the biggest name moved?
A lot of teams are buying, but not many teams are selling. So this is the downside of the extra wild card is now more teams say to themselves, well, we're 6 games under 500, but we're only 3 games back of the wild card spot. So then less teams are willing to punt on the season. So I think it's tricky to see which teams will be sellers. I look for guys like Bailey Falter, the Pirates. He's been great for them, really under the radar. Could be a really good pickup for a team who wants starting pitching. I'm curious about offense. Eugenio Suarez has been great for the D-backs. Josh Naylor could be a name. I think the D-backs should punt. They're about as even-steven as you get. They're a 500 team. They've been average on the road. To me, I'm like, if you sell some assets of pending free agents, guys like Zach Gallen and Naylor and Suarez, you could get a lot for it. But I think Arizona says to themselves, well, we're only 4 games back to that third wild card spot, and maybe they don't punt. But there's going to be lots more scuttlebutt in the next couple of weeks ahead.
And this is the best part about baseball, right? Because you just told me in this episode both that the Royals, who you predicted would go to the World Series, were the most disappointing team to you in June, and the Diamondbacks, who you predicted would go to the World Series, should sell at the deadline. And that's what makes baseball spectacular, because you never know what's going to happen in a given season. But let's get to our Golden Era Star of the Week. I'm actually going to give you 3 names here, Adnan, all based off of what they did in June. So Garrett Crochet led Major League Baseball in strikeouts. Zach Wheeler led Major League Baseball in ERA with, I believe, a .56 ERA in the month of June. And then there's the guy you just mentioned, Eugenio Suarez, who tied the big dumper for both home run lead and RBI lead in Major League Baseball in that month. Which of these 3 stars do you want to lock in on?
Crochet, I think, is a runner-up for the Cy Young to Skubal, and Suarez can bang with the best of them. But I'm going with Zach Wheeler. I met him last year, and as you know, Jeremy, when they're nice to us, we'll be nice to them forever.
That's
and
right.
Zach told me he was a fan of my works, and I'm a fan of his work forever. Let's get this guy a Cy Young, man. He was runner-up in the Cy Young a year ago to Sale. He was a runner-up to Corbin Burns when he should have won. He throws more innings than anybody. He's an absolute horse for the Phillies. He's a 2-time Tommy. Remember after he had Tommy John with the Mets, everyone goes, don't touch this guy. He goes to the Phillies. He was absolute steal. Now he's on his 2nd contract. He's still worth all the money. And you're right. He allowed a total of 2 earned runs in 5 June starts. He's absolutely spectacular. The thing I love about Wheeler is he wants to finish what he starts. He struck out 10 in 8 innings. Nobody does this anymore. He tossed 6 hit ball, did not walk a single batter. I'm hoping this guy finally wins a Cy Young. According to the odds right now, he's runner-up to Paul Skenes right now in the National League. So let's hope Zach Wheeler, always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Hopefully he breaks through this year.
I hope it's this year, because it feels like Paul Skenes is going to win every single Cy Young moving forward. So hopefully Zach Wheeler can get his, because he is beyond deserving for the horse that he is and the dominant horse that he is. But Adnan, thank you for your 5th appearance. We'll see if we can squeeze 5 more in the second half of this Major League Baseball season, but it is time to get back to our game of trivia between myself and Chris. Oh, I'm between 2 names, and I'm not really confident in either one of them. Based off Carlos Beltran.
Carlos Beltran's going to be Jeremy's 3rd strike.
That's such a shame, because I want you to know he wasn't one of the 2 names I was thinking of. But because I wasn't confident in either of the other names, and then I saw the Mets logo, I went, let me go with that. If you say one of the 2 names that I have written down and you
Chris
win,
Cody
I'm gonna
could
be
walk it
furious.
off here, or we're going to go to overtime where it's just going to be a sudden death round.
I have 2 names here that I feel like they both should be fine. It's like, which one do I want to go with? Who had less around him in the line?
Man, I actually have 3 names that I could have gone with. I'm not happy with myself. This is disappointing.
I'm going to go Adam Dunn. Terrible guess.
Adam Dunn is on the list.
Yeah!
Chris Cody wins.
Yeah!
That
Who's
Lance
number
Berkman?
2?
Lance
No,
Berkman?
give me a hint on number 2.
Yeah.
Give us like a division,
Division.
You'll think of him NL East, but more so AL West.
Hold on.
Whoa.
He went to the AL West early in the 2000s.
Just all right. Give us
Yeah.
initials. We're not even close. Give us something
I
else.
have no idea what you're talking about.
VG.
Oh, Vlad.
Oh, obviously.
Oh man.
How did I not
That is
think
so
of
obvious.
Vlad?
You know why? It's because if I saw Expos,
Yeah, you're right. I
may have thought
might have thought about it.
The
so
names
right.
that you guys missed, the 2 spot was Vlad Guerrero. The 6 spot, you guys named a Carlos, but it was the wrong Carlos Delgado.
classic.
The biggest surprise on this list, number 7, Ichiro Suzuki.
No. I was gonna say Ichiro eventually. I didn't write it down, but I thought of him.
I thought about him,
Yeah.
but I was like, there's no way. He might have walked a lot, but no way intentional walk. What a different sport we were playing.
Jeremy, you mentioned him. You just didn't guess him. Lance Berkman, Ryan Howard, Brian Giles.
Ryan
Luis
Howard
Gonzalez.
is an obvious one.
Who do I have written down right underneath the Phillies?
Chase Utley wasn't on there?
Ryan Howard. Man,
Chase Utley was not. The final name that you guys missed was the 18th name on the list, Bobby Abreu.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
This was good. I like this.
That's disappointing, but this is a great game. Taylor, you did a great job.
After a rough stretch, 2 in a row for the kid.
Don't let him get hot.
Don't let me get
I
hot.
won't let him get hot. Next week is going down.